So guys, today I got for you a top list of fragrances that made most impact on my perfume collection and also influenced my taste in perfumes. So make sure to keep on watching to find out everything about them, and please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And once you're done with that, we can get started. So hello and welcome everyone to this video, which is going to be another one of those episodes in which I'm going through my perfume collection, sharing with you some interesting fragrances. And today we are going to be talking about those ones that made most impact on my perfume collection and also influenced my perfume taste. I thought it might be something interesting for you to watch because I have so many fragrances, and I would like to know if you have one or two that really changed your mind about a certain perfume style or a note, like I will be discussing with you today. So let's have a closer look at today's top 20 list of very different perfumes that you might already heard about on my channel, because some of them are all-time favorites and others are newer additions to my collection. But I want to get started with like a perfect signature scent that I smelled and fell in love with, and this is actually M. Micallef's Royal Mascot that has been around for a long time, and even the bottle of it is just perfect. But the scent is like the most classy musk that is also modern because it smelled of ironed clothing, so it is clean but not soapy. I really like the muted fruitiness and floralcy in here, but the scent is really classy, modern, well blended, and musk in here is also really elevated. So it's just something very easygoing, and when I smelled it I really wanted more fragrances with such modern take on the note of musk, and I've already put some of my favorites in a top list that is dedicated to the note of musk in perfumery. So just in case it's your favorite, make sure to check it out and keep on your mind that all the health information you will find down below, so check out the description box. And let's move on to the next perfume that I've already mentioned a couple of times on my channel, and even have a full review on this fragrance, Geisha Baton by Aroma M, that is really interesting because first of all it smells of creamy and really milky sandalwood. So once I experienced it I really wanted more fragrances in this style, because as if you took petals of a peony and vanilla bean inside and really smashed it all together till you got a beautiful creamy paste. So it smells really gentle, powdery, milky. The texture of it is mind-blowing, and also the longevity is phenomenal, maybe because it's in this roll-on oil format, but it lasts all day long. Sometimes I apply it on my skin or all over the hair. I can even roll it a little bit on the clothing, and it smells so good all day long that I really want more fragrances with similar texture and this beautiful creamy vanillic floralcy that is not too sweet. At the same time I feel like there is just enough of something romantic in there, and I found quite a few similar ones. But now I want to talk about vanilla a bit more in depth. I've already touched on it in this perfume, yet it is not as well pronounced as in some other fragrances in my collection, because you might remember that it's my favorite note. I'm obsessed with vanilla, and I won't be mentioning too many vanilla favorites today. Better check out a few top list in which I featured some of the best vanilla that I've ever smelled. But right now I really want to talk about that one that really got me into it, and it is Vanille Absolute by Montage. That's like a perfect vanilla. It is gourmand, it is sweet, it is really powerful, you guys, but also well balanced with cinnamon and woody notes. So it's not as straight in your face and beast mode as lots of Montage perfumes are, and at the same time it is really vanillic. So if you love this note, it smells like liquid vanilla to me, and I really love to wear it in the summertime. So I'm a big fan of this vanilla, but I love it also in the winter. And my go-to for the cold weather is Rouge Smoking by EPC Perfumes. This is such a mind-blowing vanilla because it's on the darker side, yet in the opening there is amazing note of cherries. They are not too sweet and they have the juiciness to them, but the fragrance goes into the powdery, woody direction. So vanilla in here feels dark and really sophisticated. The fragrance has amazing sillage, is a compliment getter, and it's really sophisticated, so vanilla in here is really noticeable, yet it is not as edible as in the previous one. So in case you're looking for something similar, make sure to give this fragrance a try. To something popular, and you can actually get it with my discount at So Avant-Garde web shop. So the link to it and the discount you will find down below. But now let's talk about my very comforting vanilla that I fell in love at first sniff, and once I got Italica by Xerjoff, I felt truly happy because this is that amazing milky type of vanilla that is well balanced with other notes like saffron, toffee and almond. So there is beautiful texture in there. It's powdery, it is musk, it is also quite milky and lactonic, and at the same time vanilla in here feels ultra modern, sweet yet not too candy-like. So it is something really special and I love this scent. But talking about almonds, there is one perfume in my collection that really changed my mind about lavender, that always used to feel very old-fashioned to me, and this perfume by El Haramain called Royal Stallion doesn't give me this barbershop vibe that I don't enjoy about those lavenderish perfumes. In here it is aromatic, but it is well mixed with some almonds and heliotrope, vanilla, so it is powdery and at the same time very aromatic. There are some other fragrances in this style, Tom Ford and Parfums de Marly have a few, but I really love the power of it. It can be something very recognizable. So if you're looking for a signature scent and you want it to be classy and at the same time, you know, with that beautiful, nice aromatic note, I really recommend you that one. You can't go wrong with it. But what I'm really into, and this is that vanilla that I fell in love with at first sniff a couple of years ago in Italy when Shani presented Annie in Milan. I was head over heels about this perfume that was actually created by one of my most favorite perfumers, Cecilia Zarokian, and she is a genius, creating such a beautiful modern vanilla that feels super fresh in the opening. So lots of the times vanilla perfumes are sweet and gourmand, and although this fragrance has that facet to it, at the same time in the opening there is this burst of spiciness coming from ginger and cardamom. There is also crispness of green leafy notes and juice from blackcurrant in the dry down. It is getting powderier because of the woody notes. Vanilla in here is still pretty crisp, so I just love it. I find it's amazing, unisex, sexy, but not too over-the-top vanilla fragrance that you should definitely check out in case you are into it. But let me talk about another kind of vanilla fragrance, but it is going more into the musky direction. And when I first read about the release of Metallic by Tom Ford, I got super excited and curious about it because of the notes. And I remember how I first smelled it in Prague. At first sniff, I did not understand it. Next day I came to the shop, I completely fell in love with this scent of crisp aldehydes. They just really bring in sparkles into the fragrance. I love them, and it's very interesting how modern and not old-fashioned they smell in this composition that dries down into this beautiful skin-like powdery fragrance because of the vanilla, but also musk and heliotrope. There is also amazing clean note of Lily of the Valley, so I really love that fragrance and find it absolutely unique. There is nothing like it out there, and it is also very wearable, well put together, so I love it a lot. But let's talk about something powderier because it's definitely my favorite type of fragrance. And way back in the days when I just started collecting perfumes, I came across this unfortunately discontinued scent lipstick On by Maison Margiela and was so blown by the powder of this almost oldish iris lipstick. So there's heliotrope in there, and I've already spoken about this note a couple of times because it's my favorite. Always bring in something almost cosmetic and powdery to the fragrance. It appeals to me a lot. In here it is mixed with iris and definitely smells like lipstick, but also a little bit edgy, so I used to wear it a lot, and it's a pity that Maison Margiela didn't replace it maybe with a modern version of it. So if you love powdery perfumes Perfumes, you definitely need to check out the note of iris. Through that fragrance, I've experienced it in its full, you know, like density, and I just really love that about it. But let's talk about something that I'm not very comfortable with, and this is the green genre of perfumes. I shy away from them. It's not my favorite. Lots of the times I find green perfumes boring, but when I smelled Pergola by Exaltatum London, I really changed my mind about these fragrances in the green style, because in here everything is full of life. It definitely smells like a green spring garden, maybe after the rain, because there is beautiful grassiness to it, and you know, full-bodied floralcy coming from narcissus, hyacinth, lily of the valley, those typical spring flowers that I've actually already covered in one of my recent videos. So just in case you're looking for some perfumes with floral notes that bloom in spring, definitely check it out. But you guys, this fragrance is as green as it can get, but I like the dirtiness from moss in the dry down and this beautiful power of flowers that still feel green. So it really changed my mind about the whole genre of green fragrances, and although I'm still not into it, I really love Pergola because now at least I am more open for some green scents. But let me know if you like them or not. I know that some people love herbaceous perfumes and I find them more challenging, like the next note that I want to talk about, which is jasmine. And it's crazy that I used to hate on it because I had really bad experience with one fragrance called Alien, all-time favorite by Mugler, that I can't handle on myself and other people. It is just too sickening for me personally, and I thought that jasmine is not my note until I experienced it in more natural and niche perfumes. And once I smelled this fragrance Alter by the Swiss brand Samarco, I really realized that jasmine is pretty fantastic, because in here it is not indolica, rather with a green edge. There is also mimosa, so lots of purity, lots of like clear lines about this jasmine that really smells like a flower pretty much. But there are also incensey, some resinous, and even animalic nuances, and I feel like civet really pushes on that purity of white floralcy in this composition, which is powerful, and I can smell it for a long time on myself, which is really nice. So if you're into jasmine, this is my #1 recommendation for you, and you can get it from the website Aquation Natural, and of course I have a discount for you, so make sure to give it a try. But now, kind of like concluding this green and jasmine kind of fragrance, there is one perfume in my collection that wasn't hard for me to love at all. I bought it almost right away after I experienced Maison Margiela's Matcha meditation, because obviously there is note of matcha in there and I'm a big fan of it. Almost every Saturday after I go to Ukrainian demonstrations in Darmstadt, I grab the beautiful milky matcha tapioca bubble tea, and I just really love the edginess of matcha in here with green tea and also jasmine and orange blossom. It is floral, it is green, it smells realistic of matcha, so quite refreshing. But there is also white chocolate for the texture, and mate doesn't allow it to go into that, you know, gourmand direction. So it's still a freshy, but it's very well balanced with all the green, floral and creamy nuances. So it's one of my all-time favorites, and it made me want to experience more matcha in perfumes. But although I feel like this note had a moment a couple of years ago, now it's less popular. So if you can give me a nice recommendation with matcha note, make sure to comment down below. But I want to move on to another very abstract fragrance like matcha meditation. It is very atmospheric, and once I read about the release of Le Chant de Camache by L'Artisan Parfumeur, I got really curious about it because it featured a note of paradisone that I've never experienced in perfumes and really wanted to smell it. So I got a sample, really felt that amazing uniqueness about it. So I got a bottle, and you guys, it just smells like that moment when you open a window on a beautiful sunny spring day, so you allow the warm floral air come into your room. There is not only paradisone but also a note of hedion, which is muted and floral, very delicate, and rice with sandalwood at this nice delicate elusive powderiness that really made me want to experience more fragrances with those notes, and I have a few top list and best of episodes dedicated to them, because this fragrance, although it is so light and really skin light, very abstract, is very impactful on my perfume taste and collection overall. So highly recommend you to give it a try if you are into lighter, powdery, floral fragrances. Everything is kind of blurred in there, but something very powerful and bold that I've experienced once and could not forget ever since is Voulez-vous coucher avec moi by Killian. And at first I had a sample of it and could not afford it back in the days because it's extremely expensive, but once I got it, now I wear it just on special occasions, because this is an intoxicating scent of such flowers as ylang ylang, tuberose, gardenia, rose, and they are a little bit vanillic, a little bit woody, and very sexy. So this is that phenomenal intoxicating scent of all the beautiful flowers, and it smells truly addictive. So I really like it. But another note that I really need to mention today is a rose that I'm a big fan of. Sometimes people have issues with it, that it can smell old-fashioned, but I have lots of rosy perfumes in my collection that I've already mentioned in many videos of mine in different settings, so make sure to have a look in case you love rosy perfumes. But today I really want to talk about Roses Vanille by Montserrat, that has been around for a while, and that's for inspired some brands to create fragrances in almost the same jammy, sweet, rosy way, because to me it smells sugary, musky, and sweet, and it's similar to, you know, Intense Coffee by Montage and many other perfumes, but this was the first one, and I feel like it's such a beautiful, bombastic, sweet rose that leaves this gorgeous trail behind you that people get so caught by. So I really love to wear it when I want that confident scent that I feel really comfy with, but at the same time sexy and elegant. So I love that for it. But talking about sexiness, like true sexiness in perfumes for me, you guys, there is one perfume in my collection that is pretty sexy, it is sexual, it is animalic overall, and once I experienced it, it was many years ago, and I had no perfume in my collection that would feature animalic notes. Is Rendezvous by JUS Perfumes. I've already spoken about it a couple of times on my channel. It was really expensive to get, but I definitely needed to, because it features so many animalic notes like castoreum, ambergris, hyrax, musk, civet. Everything is in there, but it is mixed with aldehydes, with pepper, with white flowers. So it is in the retro nouveau style, and it was also new to me, and at the same time it felt animalic, sexy, raw, inviting, and very hot on skin. So this is very sexy, but if we are talking about erotic scents, it's one of those. But if you want it to be more impactful also on others, because JUS ones wears just a bit closer and intimate. You might have already heard me talking about Mandragola by Quinto Canto, but let me rave about it one more time, because I find it is impactful, it is legendary, it is one of the most hyped fragrances on my channel, and that's because that oud with absinthe, with some truly powerful flowers, is unbeatable. It smells super sexy, it has powerful sillage, it is super recognizable. Many people bought it because of me, and I really stand behind that favorite of mine. So I really like the special take on the oud note in that perfume, because it has more of this animalic edge to it. So it definitely made me want to experience oud in that way more, but unfortunately I haven't found like a fragrance that would smell similar to Mandragola. So it's one of a kind, and I highly recommend you check it out, and I believe you can get it from So Avant-Garde. So make sure to at least sample it, because it's something special. But while we are on the oud subject, I really want to mention this fragrance by Orientica called Oud Saffron, because it's a sweet take on oud, to the point I can say it smells like oud with sugary vanilla frosting on it, and it is super super sweet and it is super woody. It smells super expensive. It smells like a proper niche perfume. And the more I wore it, the more I wanted sweet woods. I wanted gourmand woods, and now I have quite a few in my collection, but it really made me look into the wood not just from the perspective of a woody note, of a base note, but of a note that can smell delicious and inviting and also sexy and playful and not too heavy and challenging as it can be sometimes. So I really like that fragrance and how, you know, beautiful and easygoing it is. Sometimes woody perfumes are just so heavy, when that one is definitely something a bit more easygoing because it had that beautiful sweetness to it that just relaxed the overall composition. But since we are talking about this rather dark note, let's move on to another one, which is tobacco. And I've always enjoyed it in perfumes, but only after I wore Tobacco Vanille I realized how beautiful it is. So I bought this Tom Ford's classy fragrance with spices and vanilla. It is sweet, it is like beautiful sweet tobacco, it is chocolatey, it is you know, like delicious and mouth-watering. At the same time it smells sophisticated, and I just really love tobacco in here. I purchased so many fragrances with tobacco after this one, but I still feel this is that most yeah, crucial tobacco fragrance that really brought it into perfumery and made it more, you know, popular, if you know what I'm talking about. So I absolutely love Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille and find this is one of those fragrances you can't beat. It is unisex and it is truly addictive. But talking about addictive perfumes and the note that I've always enjoyed, it is patchouli, and my first proper patchouli experience that I was smitten with is Pink Patchouli by Sven Pritzkalite way back in the days. Let me know if you remember those times. But since it is discontinued, I want to mention Slow Dance by Burrito, because I find it is an underrated perfume in their collection that I am absolutely in love with, because it smells juicy, it smells really syrupy, it smells patchouli-ish, sweet, powdery, and boozy. And I'm a big fan of boozy perfumes. I love them. In here we have cognac that warms up this composition with resinous patchouli notes that are sweetened and powdered by vanilla and violet, and it is a very romantic but grown-up experience wearing it and also smelling it on others. It is such a compliment getter. It's like a magnetic perfume that people don't know about. So in case you want to smell unique and mass appealing, definitely give it a try. But talking about boozy perfumes, I have a lot of them, and it's kind of like that quality that is coming from different materials. And one of such fragrances is Amber Absolutely by the Australian brand Fortin Manley that I experienced way back when I started, you know, my perfume collection, and I was student and couldn't afford super expensive perfumes, but at the same time I could not resist their fragrances, especially this one that really made amber smell super yeah, super interesting to me. I've experienced it more like, you know, this heavy vanilla base note, when in here, because of plum and blackcurrant that feel juicy and at the same time boozy, it is super shiny. The rosiness in there smells so, yeah, truly hypnotizing. So this fragrance needed to end in my collection, which it did. So yeah, that's an amazing amber perfume, and just after that I started to get in my nose on more boozy and ambery perfumes. But another note that I've never been really into is Incense until I experienced Mushin by Matt Malik, because this doesn't smell churchy, nor it is like the smoky scent. It's the most refined, most beautiful scent of Kyoto incense with orris root, violet, leather, oud and osmanthus. It has so many amazing, luxurious and expensive raw materials, and at the same time it can be described as an incensey perfume, but not in this super spiritual way, if you know what I'm talking about. So I really like it. It is one of my signature scents, as some of these used to be or are till this day. But I want to end this video on a very positive note of Sun Drunk by Imaginary Authors. And look how much I've already used up. I mean, this has been my go-to summer fragrance for a long time because the pop of orange in there, the tingling rhubarb, the amazing and very uplifting scent of neroli and honeysuckle is so juicy, mouth-watering, easygoing, breezy, and also rose water that definitely gives it more watery but not aquatic touch, was something more comforting for me to wear as a summer fragrance because it's such a refreshing, positive, happy scent. And since I'm not into those greens, citruses and aquatics, it was just like something that is kind of in that style, but at the same time not to the point I would be uncomfortable with. So it's a very positive fragrance and you can get it from Aquasil Natural, as many of these fragrances, so make sure to use my discounts while you're shopping perfumes, and hopefully I could also inspire you to try out some of these beautiful fragrances. And something else I wanted to know is that if you have any idea for a topic when I'm going through my perfume collection, and definitely drop a comment below if you have an impactful perfume that you feel really changed your mind about certain fragrance or influenced your taste. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions left, I'm here to answer them. So remember that your comments and subscription as well as likes really help my videos and I put effort into them. So I really appreciate your time spent here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow me on my social media so we can stay in touch, and we will see each other next one really soon. Bye guys.